Hello Ingo, and hello my other fans, which are Maxon and Jensen in the Gold Coast in Australia. That's a long way away. And of course Jean and Miller, who live in Pocklington, which is just down the road. So I'm very glad you're going to tune into this video because it's going to be especially silly today. Now, there's a little known fact that moles are very forgetful, and our mole last week had his umbrella up to try to keep the beer off, but it didn't work. And then he went and lost his umbrella, so he had to go back home and get a new umbrella. So it's a very smart one today, because he needed an umbrella because he wanted to go to the seaside, and everybody knows at the seaside you can get a bit damp. So he got his umbrella, and of course he had his top hat, so he looked smart at the seaside, and his sunglasses, and of course moles never travel without a banjo, do they? So Mole had to get his banjo back off the cat next door. There's another reason to go home. Now, lots of interesting things happened, because when he got to the seaside he was confronted with this vast area of sand and sea, and he's only little. Moles would actually fit on the palm of your hand. They would, yes, no problem. Mole felt very small and insignificant, which of course he was. Aww. So, children, Mole got to the beach and he was confronted by this vast expanse of sea and sand. And he was a scared little mole because, as we said, he's very small. And he decided the best way to cover up his fear was to take his banjo out of his rucksack and sing a song. Now, a scared mole is not the best songster. His banjo was good, but his singing was pretty rubbish, so I do apologise for that. But he did record it on his phone, so I suppose we'd better have a look, hadn't we? Oh dear. Ready to cover your ears? And then the second thing that scared him was the fact that he saw his first cormorant in his life, and cormorants are, compared to moles, huge. And they've got big beaks, and they eat animals. But fortunately for Mole, he didn't yet smell of the seaside, and especially important, he didn't smell of fish. Hence, the cormorant took one look at him and thought, what a morsel, he's no good to me. Mole took all his courage together and asked the cormorant if he would show him around a little bit. Well, of course, the cormorant was more than happy to show off, and Mole got his little camera out, his phone camera, and he shot himself a little video listening to the cormorant telling him what was what. The question is, how do we miss 90% of these noises until we put them onto a video? There in the distance is Dunstanburgh Castle, the most useless medieval edifice ever. The Scots went round it, clever people, and out to see the wilderness that is no more. Because down the coast there are wind turbines. Well, the first thing Marmeduke had to ask was, sorry, Connie the Cormorant, but why in your rock pools here does it smell so appalling? Back down the sandy beach it was much better. Well, the Cormorant looked a bit askance at that, because he rather liked the smell. He said, I'm sorry, old chap, that's the seaweed, and that's how it is when you're at the seaside. We don't want that sandy stuff. There's no fish down there for me to eat, and the sand gets in my feet and it gets in my beak, and I have a terrible time. I'm much better off sitting on rocks here, and you can study the seaweed. The seaweed may smell, but it's a very important substance and contains lots and lots of nutrients. Can you see how many pictures of different types of seaweed you can find by the next time we meet? He said. because I have to fly off now and catch myself some fish for dinner. I don't know what you're going to eat." "Well," said Mole, "it being a beach down the way there where I've just come from, I'm sure there will be plenty of worms. But I'm not going to find much up here, am I? Where it's all rocky. I can't burrow here and find a worm." So the Cormorant said, "I see your point. Everything has its own place, doesn't it? I need rocks and rock pools and fish, and you need a sandy beach and worms. So off you go, and we'll meet again next time." And so that's what happened, and they parted company best of friends and agreed to meet the following day. And with a bit of luck and a following wind, I might be able to tell you what they got up to next week. So goodbye to everybody. That's Ingo and Maxon and Jansen and Jean and Miller in Pocklington, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.